Good morning, America. Boy, we got a good one today. ESPN wants Will Smith to talk about Chris Rock's slap before Bad Boys, the great movie, of course. Will Smith's a great actor, and I mean, you can't say he's not, and all the rest of the actors. And Democrats have a ace card to play because Biden's mental decline, they say, worried about security of the United States. Other countries are going to sit there and laugh at us because we got a clown, who wants to eat ice cream and hug little kids, you know. Anyway, massive shooting. A man in Florida shot a victim in an apartment complex. Believe it or not, in Florida. We have another thing about Florida. If I'm not mistaken, I seen on the news, which it wasn't addressed as it should be, because they keep everything quiet. But a Florida sheriff sniper saved and from a bank robbery, and bam, great job for the sheriff department. And new taco restaurant chain is coming to Colorado, and they're supposed to be pretty good. But I mean, don't get me wrong, they got a lot of Hispanic restaurants and food trucks out of this world. I mean, unbelievable. And you listen to this. Democrats won't lift a hand to give or to serve the border. And the thing about it is, the majority of 30% of Republicans go with the flow, and oh boy, they get elected in, and they don't care about doing their job. And I said it last time I did the podcast, and I had 28, maybe 30 viewers, and everybody gave me thumbs up because this thumb's halfway cut off. Anyway, the Democrats won't do nothing, but they need to work side by side with the Republicans because this shit is getting bad. You voted in office. If you can't do your job, regular citizens and Americans have the right to veto your ass out your job and put somebody else in your place. And of course, if your secretary don't like it, your secretary can pack her shit and get out. And they need to do their job and fight to send your taxpaying money overseas. And if you were a person that had $100,000 of what I call fake money, because in your vault at your house with your $100,000 you got paper money, your vault in your house has nothing. You have nothing to stand on and grounds of having income. I'm saying if you got you claim you got $100,000 in cash, but you don't have shit to back it up. Well, guess what? You really have nothing. You have fake money, and the government's printing money as fast as they can send it. Yeah, you see the hat? Trump for 2024, you better get up and vote. Democrats, independents, left, right, middle, up, down, north, south, east, and west. You need to vote and put a man in that's going to do his job. Hey, if you don't like that Republican for Trump, which I got the hat, and I represent him, and they don't want to do nothing. And they want to change, and it's real scary for the United States. But they don't want to close off our borders. But the average man works 40 hours a week and he can barely put food on the table for his family or pay his mortgage for his house, or if he's renting, he's living from paycheck to paycheck. Driving the same vehicle that he can't repair, but he's going to repair himself to do a half-assed job and get it to ride to bring it back and forth to work. And the government needs aid for the homeless veterans. Me and my fiance went down the street on an overpass at a red light, and the veteran looked at my Hummer and said, "Great vehicle." Well, yeah. I retired at 55. I didn't want to, but I had to because of diabetic neuropathy. And the money I got back paid for 17 months, which was really 12 months, they're not going to give you if you got to stay on the list to try to get Social Security disability. And there's a lot of people that need it. And there's a lot of people that don't need it. And there's a lot of people that live off of welfare. And it was supposed to be a part-time thing for that person to get on with their life so they're independent. But no, they made a career out of it. And the taxpaying man is sitting there paying for that out of his taxes when you get a lady that has 3 kids for 3 different daddies, but yet they get $2,000 worth of food stamps, and they get aid, and they get a medical course, and they can go see a doctor. You paying for that. So you better open your eyes. I'm just saying. And yeah. 30 years of the O.J. Simpson. Well, I'm not going to tell you how I feel about that, because I feel about that the wrong way. And Biden, with this student loan forgiveness bullshit, it ain't happening. You go to school for 4 years and you come out and you don't want to pursue your career. You want to go work at McDonald's, but you expect the government, which is taxpaying money, to pay your damn loan off. No. If you got a $400, $500 note on your student loan, and you probably live with mom and dad, and that's cool, and you're working a job to pay your loan, but, Biden is not worried about the job of the taxpayers' money. He's going to sit there and try to pull votes off of college students and bring in immigrants and give them the right to get a driver's license and a visa, and then he's going to sneak the millions and millions in and try to get the votes from them. Because, they're not stopping the border from being blocked like Trump wanted. Yep, Trump. And taxpayers are paying for this. The average homeless man has to go to a shelter during a cold winter day to get a hot meal and a bunk. And maybe get, some clothes. Some of the organizations and the churches, all these food banks, they shouldn't go hungry. But yet, you have an average of hustlers with 25 to 35 young kids holding up cardboard signs saying, "My tent burned down and I don't have no food." But yet you look, and cat a corner across the street, less than a half a block, there's a food bank. But you peddling. Man, a couple of them have these window washers, and they sitting there washing windows, and they put the hand out. My fiance gave a lady what we had. And the lady looked at us like we were stupid. But a young couple was in front of a little store, and my fiance gave them a couple dollars. They went in the store. They got crackers and something to share to drink, and they ate it like they were starving. Anyway, Colorado person was caught on camera tearing a flag at a police officer's memorial, and they got her on tape. On camera. They wrote it. So I guess what they need to do, the city needs to focus in on that camera, identify that woman, and put her ass in jail. Make her stay about 5 years, hard labor for tearing American flag. I got one behind me. I don't let it touch the ground. And if a young kid sees a parade route going by and there's veterans going by, you normally see the little kid raise their right hand and put their hand over their heart, because the parents, the ones that don't give a shit. And a statement from Trump's campaign, the conditions on Hunter Biden getting found guilty on gun charges. Okay, he walked out the courthouse and went home, because daddy's a president, when his ass should have got handcuffed and brought to jail, But no, but they go for Trump, and Trump got to pay these millions of dollars back for something that's bullshit and he didn't have no control over. And last but least, Ohio woman kills a toddler and stabs a mama, and she's in court, in court. They're doing her case, and she's smiling. And besides that, the daddy walks up and says, gives his statement, and he's almost in tears, and yet she's smiling. She killed a toddler, I guess 4 years old, and stabbed the mama, and I don't know the place, but it was in Ohio. It was Grand Eagle. I don't know if that's a park or that's a subdivision or that's a city, whatever. Anyway, the moral of the story is, I believe in capital punishment. All these guys on death row spending life sentences, you take them out front, you wrap a rope around their neck, and you drop their ass in a trap door. Or you sit there and you give them the choice. Okay, people say, oh my God, you can't shoot somebody in the head because they're still going to breathe. Or you can't shoot somebody in the heart because their mind's going to run for 10, 15 minutes. No, you take a .50 caliber and you shoot their ass in the head, and then you shoot their ass in the chest. And then you drag them off. If they sentence that day, you take them down that day. And the ones on death row that's waiting and appealing and got these crooked ass lawyers that's going to represent the no. The defensive lawyers shouldn't represent none of them because they don't deserve it. You understand what I'm saying? Open your eyes, pull your head out your ass and see what's real. Back in the 30s and the 40s, our grandfathers went through a depression and they still made ends, and they packed up the family ranch and farm that they couldn't pay because banks came in and took it from them, and they had to go to a better place. Bless his heart. Great man. My fiance's daddy, went to war, and when Iwo Jima or whatever, when they dropped the atomic bomb, he went swimming in the water and got radiation of poisoning. And of course, he had burns on his body. But when he came back, he was still married to my fiance's mama. Great woman. Speaks seven languages. This weekend, we're going to Kansas City. She's got a birthday. She's going to be 84, 83, 84. Woman speaks 7 languages. Smart like a whip. She's in a retirement home. Bless her heart. And I call her Mimi, but her name's Ozzy. And not Ozzy Osbourne. Anybody comes on with a view or a comment and says something stupid, I'll make sure, you're going to be corrected, because no. Anyway, long story short, my fiance's daddy came back and raised a family on a farm. They grew up on a farm, and then he became a truck driver. And a misdose, or what do you call it? Not like a anyway, the doctor messed up and said he had lung cancer, and they did surgery, and all he had was the size of a pea or a lima bean dirt from working on the farm for so many years and raising his family. And he did a great job, and he was a great man. Mr. Mr. Deal was a great man. He raised four beautiful kids, and he stayed faithful to his wife for a long time before he passed. And, you know, people taking advantage of the system. If you're so worried about putting congressmen and senators in office, you ought to open up a division or a department that oversees and looks. Okay, I can understand homeless vets. They need a place to stay. They ought to open up these old abandoned motels. They ought to remodel them. Number three, they ought to take all the millions of dollars that they send in overseas and stop it. Number four, check the mint. Check the United States Treasury. If you got this much money in the bank, you ought to have this much money in circulation. Don't print false money. Oh, and to cover what you need to cover, you go to the Social Security and you take people's money, and then you come up with a fake virus and kill people in jail, which if they're on death row, hey, you know, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But the senior citizens in retirement homes, they're not being taken care of. They're being mistreated. Some of them get slapped, hair pulled. They pull the tray away where people can't eat. But yet their Social Security is going to the retirement home, an old folks home. And man, they're paying for it. They paying them people's salary and keeping the lights on and paying the lease for that retirement home. And they need to open their eyes and see, hey, you can't do your job, your ass will be replaced. If a director of a retirement home can't do their job, they need to be replaced. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, love your country, love America, love your family. You better love them and tell them you love them and hug them and hang around them before they gone. You know? Family's important because that's your moral support. I have a sister that'll take a bullet for me, and I have a great fiance and her son and daughter and her brother, and I have 11 grandkids, and I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. My baby girl's going through college to be a nurse. My other daughter's getting her life together and her husband. And I got a son that's a fabricator. He's been working 13, 14 years for the same company. He's got 3 daughters. And I got the oldest son. He's a welder, sometimes a mechanic. He's versatile and he's great. You know, I love him. I love all my kids and my grandkids. And my fiance loves her granddaughter and great granddaughter and you know her 2 grandsons, you know, and one's mentally challenged, but he's smart. He can get on a computer game that you can't finish in 3 to 6 months. He can knock it out in 1 day. And then the mentally challenged people learn their own way. You know, school is on a curriculum where they already have what you would call the blueprints to sit there and raise your kid and teach your kid a curriculum. You know, math, English, social studies, you know, and lunch, and then PE, and then, you know, maybe free enterprise, whatever. And the young kids got computers because my fiance's daughter-in-law is a teacher, and she's a great teacher, you know. I mean, and she can sing, you know, like my fiance can sing. But Veronica is a great teacher, and Doug is one awesome walking encyclopedia, smart like a whip, stays up on the current events all the time. So does his wife, Veronica, you know, and Doug, great guy. You know, every time we go down Saturdays for steak, he always has me some Coors Banquet. Yes, I drink Coors Banquet. I like it room temperature. I like it cold, but, you know, it hurts my mouth and my gums when I drink it cold. Anyway, I'm going to say it again. Love your country. Love the United States. I hope for world peace. I hope we don't go to World War III because there's a Russian boat, a ship over there in Cuba, and supposedly they're 30 or 40 miles from the Florida coastline in the Bahamas. You know, maybe they just, going through some training. I doubt very seriously they're going to put missiles out and shoot them toward the United States, but you never know. And the United States is watching, and you got this clown, representing the United States, and Lord have mercy. Sometimes he don't know where he's at. And the vice president, oh man, I'm not even going to start. That might be another podcast, another time, another place. But I love Jesus. Pray to him every day. If you go to sleep that night and you wake up that morning, you get on your knees and thank him. That means open up a Bible and start reading. Hey, I'm going to be 56 years old, and my fiance knows a lot about the Bible. Bless her heart. She's a beautiful woman. And I'm starting to read it. And it's fascinating. And it's true. Yeah, we don't come from apes. And everybody talks about, we a species, lab experiment from aliens. Come on, man. Adam and Eve and all that, whatever. Anyway, we need to focus on securing the border. We need to focus on stop spending money that we don't have credit on. I can understand credit cards and this. You think for 1 minute they're going to put a chip in me and I'm going to go to a store and run my wrists across? No, you can kiss my ass. I'm just telling you right now. It ain't going to happen. Not in the United States. And especially the Patriots. Love y'all. Texas, woo, you don't want to mess with Texas. You don't want to mess with Louisiana because you got to find, and I'm from Louisiana, you got to find the coon ass in the swamp. In Mississippi, you don't want to mess with them boys because them boys are in the woods and they hunt. Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Colorado. And Wyoming, you got cowboys on horses. And Utah, yeah, they can take the cold, so it ain't gonna happen. Anyway, God bless you, love you, and y'all stay tuned for my next podcast.